Should I 19F tell my boyfriend 19M that I sneeze when I'm horny? So I have this weird condition where I sneeze when I'm aroused. Yes, it's a real thing, unfortunately. Lots of things can trigger it: dirty thoughts, seeing, experiencing something that turns me on, etc. I have never told anybody about this because why would I anyway? So when I first started dating my boyfriend, he was my crush for the longest time, I kept sneezing like crazy. The slightest thing would trigger a ridiculous sneezing fit. I'd just blame it on my allergies. One time we were making out and I sneezed on his face, sad face. I still sneeze a lot around him, and a couple of weeks ago he was very concerned and asked me if we should do anything about my allergies. He was Googling about it and even bought some nasal spray. I wanted to tell him the truth but felt too awkward. I know that it shouldn't be awkward now we're in a relationship, but it still feels like maybe I shouldn't do it. I feel like it's gonna be weird. Edit. We've been together for 3 months. Sure, but don't make a big thing of it to the point where he thinks if you're not sneezing then you're not aroused. Or that if you sneeze it has to mean you're aroused. Bless you. Well, this is pretty wild, but yeah, just tell him. It sounds like a trait a mediocre writer would give to an anime character in lieu of a personality, but it's still pretty cute. Besides, at some point the pattern recognition is going to kick in, and he will inevitably come to believe that you're allergic to his dick, which, seems worse. Oh, the comments are 50-50. Spicy. It's called honeymoon rhinitis, happens to me too, milder than yours, though. That's so sweet that he bought you nasal spray. Clearly he cares, and is possibly worried, so I think it's okay to tell him. He'll or be relieved and maybe even happy that you think about him like that. Are you monogamous? You might sneeze at someone else and he'd get jealous. LMAU. Op. Sneezes. So. Yeah, sure, I'll smash unzips pants. Fascinating. My family has something similar, it's genetic. Where for me, if I eat bitter things like dark chocolate, strong coffee, or certain alcohol, I'll sneeze, and my dad has it if he steps into bright sunlight or experiences a strong emotion. It didn't occur to me that it might extend to arousal too, though it makes sense with the strong emotion thing. Pretty sure there's a medical term for it, though I can't recall it off the top of my head. Absolutely tell him. Most people don't expect their sexual partner to sneeze in their face during sex. It might be a deal-breaker, but it might not. I'm sure you've found solutions with others in the past. Better not suddenly start sneezing when another guy walls in the room, lol. EHHH. You've only been dating a few months. Don't give him that kind of power over you yet. Let him figure it out on his own. It is a real thing. Nasal decongestant is the cure. You're just really attracted to his pheromones, which is a good thing because some people are confused if they are really attracted to someone. Meanwhile, you have a signal if you really are. Is nobody going to make this connection? She is a anime character. I feel your pain. I learned not too long ago that your sinuses open during arousal. I tried everything to keep my nose from running when I'd give a blowjob, and now I just embrace it. Tell him. It's cute, and take it from a guy. We're dense as hell, so if you have a physical sign that says, I'm horny, that's a huge bonus. Can someone explain how this is possible? Psychological or biological? Very interesting. Honestly, talk to him. I think he will think it's cute, to be honest. Fun fact. We have erectile tissue in our noses, and so when we get aroused and blood rushes to our genitals, it also rushes to our noses. Which is what can cause the sneezing in some people. This can also come as just general breathing difficulty when you're feeling aroused and making out or going down on somebody. It's happened to me too. I'm a 53F. Not every time, but it's like stepping out into bright sunlight after a dark movie theater kind of powerful, unstoppable sneeze. So funny. Well, not actually, but it does happen. Usually for me like twice, and then I have to blow my nose to clear it out. Not real hot, but then it passes. I sneeze when I'm about to cry. I sneeze when I think of specific parts. I told my wife all as well. Just tell the truth. Sneezing is harmless, really. Maybe you wonder why every film shows a person raise their leg up when kissing other person. It's very obvious. Tell your boyfriend about sneezes, man. By the way, if you sneeze, he will know it's sexy time. Lol. I sneeze when I'm horny too. I didn't know it was an actual medical condition. Skull and crossbones. Yes, especially if you want to have a healthy sex life. Google it on his computer, then leave the browser open. The thing about girls versus guys is as a girl you overthink haha, as a guy like me and boyfriend we probably find it hilarious and cute lmao. Oh my god, the Wikipedia description for this is hilarious. The condition appears to be genetically determined and caused by the presence in the nose of erectile tissue which may become engorged during sexual arousal, as a side effect of the signals from the autonomic nervous system. You're literally getting a boner in your nose. Oh yeah. Stay off the nose spray. That stuff is addicting as hell. Not good. Holy shit, I thought I was the only one. I would recommend saying something. Every partner I've had ends up liking that they can tell when I'm feeling hot. Lol, I have this as well. I told my now husband sometime around the time we became sexual, like a year after meeting him, and he actually found it interesting and quirky. Sometimes I'll sneeze and he looks at me with a smirk, like okay I got you ha ha ha. My opinion is to not tell him. I'm a person who easily fixates on things and usually overthinks a lot. I don't know if I would like to know when my partner is horny, or even in the mood. By telling him you immediately open a very private part of yourself that might better stay closed. I thought it was just me. I think I have overcome it about 20 years later, but when I was your age I would absolutely sneeze whenever I found myself thinking about something that turned me on or even just saw a person I found attractive. I don't know whether I told my significant other at the time, but it eventually went away. Tell him. Ultimately you'll condition him like Pavlov's dog. Every time you sneeze he'll get turned on. Edit. That was a joke. I know that wouldn't really be fun if every time you sneeze your partner jumps you. I have this too. It's just a weird quirk of biology, nothing to be embarrassed about. Just tell him, it's really not a big deal. Honestly, it sometimes even comes in handy in letting my partner know I'm in the mood without me having to initiate things in a more traditional way. Me. Achoo. / partner. Well then smirk. I do the same thing, male 30, and it's not that big of a deal. Sometimes a sneeze is just a sneeze. Sometimes it means I'm weak in the knees. Your boyfriend needs to develop a sneezing fetish, and everything will come full circle. The only advice I can offer is licking the roof of your mouth makes a sneeze go away. This happens to me too. Not every time, but often. And I never have double sneezes normally, but when I'm turned on I do. Well, telling him may be awkward, but not telling the truth is not helping too. Also, a person can take care of their soulmate if they know them better about their habits and how they feel, and also it's more like medical. So I would say that you should tell him and maybe seek some medical advice about nasal allergies or something so you would have a better knowledge about what's going on in your body. Yay. It's not just me. But for me it only happens when I'm alone thinking about whatever turns me on. My husband of 10 years doesn't know lol. Tell him. All those sneezing fits will go from concerning to flattering. I mean, I've heard something like, a sneeze is 1/10 of an orgasm, somewhere, but this is a whole different thing. Is it like a nervous tic? Well, playing devil's advocate, say you tell him and then you see someone attractive and sneeze. Not that you would do anything. But as you said, some things just trigger it. Could be awkward. Interestingly, there's a wiki page about this condition. Yes, tell your BF, he might find it very sweet. Up to you. But think how much fun it will be years down the line when he figures this out on his own. But to avoid doc visit you might want to tell him. That is wild, I am sorry for your predicament. I remember a thread like this from forever ago, anyone else remember it? I do the same. Have never meet anyone else who does the same. This is such a strange question. Yes, of course you should tell him. More lubricant. Anybody immediately think of Justin Timberlake in Friends with Benefits.